Hello, it's the 18th of September and this is going to be the third part of my video updates for the blog. Today I'm going to concentrate on what's been happening in the garden at home, which is where the biggest changes have actually taken place this year. Two new sort of projects underway in the garden, and they have been the chickens and the quails, both new this year. It's been mixed success with both of them, but I'm learning, and it is a learning process. Regarding the greenhouse, that actually has gone from strength to strength, and it's been a good year for the greenhouse. So let's go and have a look at all three. Here are my chickens. This is the chicken run. I don't know if you can see it too well with the way the sun's shining. Got 5 chickens. Now I started off the year with 8. The 8 chickens in the run cost me £200, which was considered quite a good deal. However, I've lost 3. Now, the first chicken died, had some sort of huge kind of tumour or something, a massive lump on the side, cancer or something like that, and that could be a sign of old age, I just don't know. But the other 2 died, and I have no idea why they died. It may have been down to eating long grass or some disease or whatever, I just don't know. I did have a red mite infestation at one point in the year, and I don't know if that caused it, but anyway. So the 5 that are left seem to be doing reasonably well, but and they're quite happy and they're laying well. I've had hundreds of eggs and giving quite a few away actually. And the 5 that are left are quite happy. Here are the quail. Don't know if you can see them too well through the cage. These were given to me by my sons for Father's Day, 6 quail, and I popped them in this ark which I originally had for the chickens. Now, quail are wild birds, they're not domesticated, so if they flew out, if they got out of the cage, then they'd be off and fly away. You can clip their wings, but I decided I don't know if I want to do that. The cage doesn't seem very big for 6 birds, but all they need is 1 square foot each. In fact, there's a certain degree they like to be confined. Initially they weren't laying. I chased each other. Initially they weren't laying at all, so I sought advice and was told to put them indoors, where it's quieter and more peaceful for them. So I put them into what was the rat cage inside, which is smaller than this. I put them in the shed, and I think this was a huge mistake, because they did start to lay, but very soon they started to really fight really viciously. There was blood and everything, and 2 quail in particular suffered, and 1 quail was pecked so badly, I thought it was blind in both eyes, and I had to separate it. So what I did was I put the rest of the quail back out here, back outside again, because I thought it's not worth it keeping them inside. But strangely they've started to lay quite well. There are a few eggs. Here's a quail egg. There we go. Got quite a few down here. So they're laying quite well. Now the injured quail is actually okay once it started to heal up. I noticed that it did have both its eyes and it can see, so it was just like a lot of blood and everything like that. So what I've done is I've waited until it's better, and I've popped it in this pet carrier, and I've put it inside. What I'm going to do is very shortly I'm going to open the door. This pet carrier has been inside the Ark for 4 days now, and hopefully they've had enough time to get accustomed to each other again. And very shortly I will open the door to this, and hopefully the quail will be reintroduced without any bother at all. Again, it's a new thing, the quail, and that seems to be the way with new things that I'm trying. I've mixed success in the first year and gradually get used to it in the second and third year and get hopefully better at it. So hopefully, like the chickens, this is my worst year, and I'll learn how to look after them better next year. Finally we come to the greenhouse. This is my second year with this greenhouse, and it's been a pretty good year actually. Let me show you around. Here we are, inside. Let's open this door. Mostly tomato plants again. I'm growing 4 different types of tomatoes. You see the tomatoes, plants are starting to yellow. They're entering into autumn, and plants are starting to die off. Still quite productive though, plenty of tomatoes as you can see, but I've had plenty as well. These plants at the beginning, that you can see just now as we come into the door, are Gardener's Delight. These are cherry tomatoes. There's a couple. Quite big actually, bigger this year than they were last year, but these are Sue's favourites and she really loves them to pop them in a salad, so I grew some more this year. Here's more Gardener's Delight. Here we are, look quite nice, don't they? Next to that are Moneymaker tomatoes. These are bigger tomatoes, and let's see if I can get you. They're still pretty good. Nice and red. Actually this year the tomatoes have been really red and fleshy and really sweet, and I think it might be for one of 2 reasons, or possibly both. Is the weather's been fantastic, but I've also eased off the watering when they became ripe, and apparently that helps to concentrate the flavour if you don't water them so much. More Moneymaker. As you can see, the plants are getting quite yellow. These are a new type of tomato for me, Sun Gold, and they're orange, and cherry tomatoes. Actually lovely, really nice, very sweet, and although it's not been a huge crop, pretty nice. Here's my dog Sasha, by the way. She's come in to see what's going on. Behind that are 3 plants that I was sent. Took some sort of free offer from a magazine. These are called Charolo tomatoes. Another cherry tomato. Not great actually. I mean, they're okay, but not great. The skins are quite thick. Moving on from the tomatoes, we come to the cucumber. Cucumber plants are all finished. You can see that there's not a single cucumber left on them. I'm going to have to pull these out. Normally I buy grafted cucumber plants, but I made a mistake this year and just bought normal cucumber plants, and they've not been as productive. So I think in the future I'll try and stick to the grafted ones. Last year I had more cucumber than I could manage. Now, I built a shelf in the winter for chilli plants. Last year I grew them in between the tomato plants, and but this year they've got their own shelf. And I don't know if you can see, but I think you might have to take my word for it, but there's plenty of red chilies. These are cayenne peppers, and the chilies are they look quite red. I haven't tried them yet, but There are plenty of them anyway. I'm going to have to find a way of preserving them and drying them. Now I've grown a few crops in between the tomatoes. Again, they're coming past their best. This is basil. I've grown quite a lot of basil this year, and basil's been brilliant. I know it doesn't look particularly great just now, but the pesto I've been making with basil has been fantastic. Way beyond anything you get in the shops, and you can make mountains of it, which is great. The kids really love it. Everybody loves the pesto. More basil over here. I've probably grown too much. I was given this aubergine plant to grow. Second time I've tried growing aubergines, and it's a disaster. Covered in some white fly. It's completely infected and has produced no fruit. So I really don't know whether to try that again. Finally, we've got more basil, and behind that, coriander. I haven't tried that yet. I don't know whether, to be honest, it should be looking like that. It doesn't look quite right, but there you go. And as I say, more basil. So there you have it. Very productive year in the greenhouse. Superb tomatoes. I mean, you can really just pick them off the vine and just eat them straight away, and they're absolutely sensational. And it seems to make a difference actually when you eat them at the same temperature, you know, straight from the greenhouse. They're just full of flavour, very good. And I think with the greenhouse I'm just going to more or less carry on. Keep going in the same vein, because I don't think other than some fine tuning, I've pretty much got it right, I think. There you go.